M0FXB, welcome to my videos on the XIEGO X6100. If you find these useful, please like and subscribe to my channel. 7.3, all the best. M0FXB, ICOM 7300 and XIEGO X6100. So why am I even showing them in the same video? Well, to me, they are more similar, maybe not because of their quality, but because of their functionality. The ICOM 7300 is a HF 6-meter radio with a built-in tuner, SDR radio and a waterfall scope. So let's have a listen to them. Both are on the same antenna, same frequency. So here we are on 3.7. 3792, 80 meters. And that's the ICOM 7300. So let's switch over to the X6100. Right, we're on the X6100. So let's just quickly show you the tuners. So we're on 5 watts and we'll activate the tuner. We turn it on at the top here and then we hold it. And it tunes fine. Now let's do it with the ICOM 7300. Maybe we're a bit loud there. Let's do it with the ICOM 7300 on band. So a key difference that we'll note is that with the 7300 we can go to 100 watts. With the X6100 only 10 with a power supply, 5 on a battery. The 7300 obviously doesn't have a battery, but to me having the XIEGO is like having a 7300 in your hand. So here goes with the tuner on the 7300. There you go, it's actually taking longer. Anyway, that's all tuned. Now we don't have the same SWR graph as the X6100. Let's have a quick look at the SWR graph on the 7300 and a quick listen. You'll also note that on the 7300 you have more colour in the waterfall. I might try and call in a bit.
Good morning, Dan.
So let's select the graph. And this is the graph you get for the 7300. We're on the lowest power setting. And then you push play. We'll come off, move away from that frequency. There's some activity this morning. Push play. I haven't done it for a while, but you key the mic. And then you can see the graph. So as we key, it's tuning and then it's telling us what the SWR is, which is pretty good. And that's what it looks like on the 7300. It's a very good tool and used correctly works well. Okay, let's look at the SWR graph on the XIEGO X6100. So what you do, push the app button here. Make sure you're not transmitting over anyone, but we're only on, let's get it right down low, 0.1 watt. And then here it says SWR scan and it will go into TX. Now we do have the G5RV connected. Should we tune it first? Let's not, and let's see what it says. So it's showing our graph, which I think is really neat. You can speed it up and slow it down. I've got it on the fastest speed, and you can change the span. Now let's stop it. Sorry about this. Let's go to another band that we haven't tuned. There's the band buttons are on the top here. On the 7300, you can touch the screen for the band like this. Anyway, so we're on 40. I haven't tuned it yet, but I have tuned in the past. Let's hit the app and SWR scan. Yeah, so it looks to me like it's remembering when we tuned it last. You can exit that. Now I notice with the XIEGO at the moment you can't fine tune unless you go into the menu, and at the moment go to radio settings, choose the correct one. No, that's the wrong one. Go back, radio settings 2, and then choose one of these, XITRIT, and then you can tweak it. It just doesn't show here yet, so I'm going to send XIEGO a message on that in a minute while I remember. So on the XIEGO, to adjust the waterfall, you've got a display settings button here, and you hit that, select the one you want. So let's say we've selected WF-Ref. Come out, you can change it on screen with the VFO or the up and down buttons, but you can come out and then you can just turn the MFK knob, and it does remember. Look, it says it here, you put WF-Ref here, look. So that's quite handy. I quite like that you've got that on screen, and it does it with other functions as well. Sorry, it's exit. Display. You select the one, you have to, let's just say we go to that one, and then you hit it. When you exit, it doesn't seem to put that one on. Let's just try it. It says WF-Ref here, which is changing. Just exit again. Display settings. It seems like it only does that with the WF-Ref. Let's try one of the other ones. Hasn't changed over, but anyway, I'm learning. So let's hit general, radio settings. By default, it actually normally does the power. I'll play with that. Anyway, let's show you how you adjust the spectrum display on the 7300. I'll just quickly say that you have the RF button here. It's a multi-function button. You push it, you've got squelch. Push it again, you've got RF gain, and that obviously does have an effect on the scope as well. If we back it right off, as you can see, but that, I would say, attenuates everything rather than just the waterfall. Now let's look at the 7300. So on the 7300, again, you can use the RF gain here to change scope settings. You also can tap on the screen, number 1 here, go to ref, and then you can adjust. Sorry, I'm trying to keep still. You can adjust the ref level up and down there. So if we go all the way up and all the way down, which works well, and that's just doing the screen sensitivity. The other thing you've got with this, with the 7300, is you've got a very long menu for changing colors and other settings in the scope. So you have a very big menu on the scope settings. Push the EXPD set button just here, and you get this menu, and yeah, there's quite a lot. So it's very impressive, and for me the 7300 is my favorite and best HF radio for the size and the budget. Let's back out of that. The IC-7300 also has split mode. Push a button and there's your split mode. The XIEGO has split mode as well. You go to radio 2 and then you select split here and it turns it on. And it works well. I've tested it. You always have even when you're not in split mode, you have the A and the B showing here, A and B, and on top you have the A and the B button here, which we can hit, A and B, and the blue square changes to B. And then adding memories is quite easy on this radio. You just push memory edit here. Now they're all empty, so we'll save one. The button here for save, and let's put it in there. You can tag it and you can mark it, and then you can erase it. So let's erase one. Let's save. Tag brings up a keyboard for naming. Interestingly, to get out of the keyboard, you have to go down to this little X here. Okay, so let's exit that. So on the 7300 to save memory, it's been a while since I've done it, but let's just minimize this. What I do, I mean that you can do it with the buttons, but I just go here, go into memory mode. Well, hold down my finger on the MW and that will save it. We're in memory mode now. We can go up and down the memories. There's a memory pad on here as well for quick storage. I think there's a button on the radio which you hold down and it saves it for you instantly. How do we look at all the memories? It's been a while since I've done it. Yeah, sorry about that, I was tinkering, my mistake. Anyway, so, and then you've got, if you go into the main menu, and go memory, you can list all your memories, and you can make changes here. So it's quite extensive, there's a lot more, even with the buttons, there's a lot more you can do with memories, and you've got the AB button here. You've got the input button for the, now you've got the RIT, XIT button here. I've showed you that earlier on the XIEGO. So signal meter wise, we've got the signal meter here, and when you transmit, to me it's trying to show you power. I'll show you. And you've got an AGC here as well, and you can select AGC on top. So AGC, auto, off, slow, fast. Then we leave it on auto. So on the 7300, the AGC is hit the function, you've got it here, mid, slow, fast. And you can hold it. And there's further settings here. That's obviously very good. On the XIEGO, you can see we're getting a low battery here, so we can just plug in a external power. I use a motorcycle battery. There is a charger that comes with the radio, but it's just for charging the battery. It won't actually run the radio. The 7300 isn't a portable radio. When I say that, I mean it hasn't got a battery, but it's quite lightweight and works very well in the field. So decode function, the 7300 does RTTY, so you select RTTY, select the menu, and then you go decode, and there's a whole process to doing this, and it does work well when you do when you add the correct settings. On the XIEGO, there is decode. You select app here, and then you have a modem. In the modem you have choices. So one is BPSK, one is RTTY, and one is CW. So this is the screen, and you have a couple of settings here. I think you're trying to match the speed here with the speed that's coming in. So it's not doing it now, but just showing you that it will decode. So we'll just have a quick tune through on the XIEGO. To change the tuning step, you hit this button here. And at the moment, all you're getting is the choice to go here and then here. I'd like to be able to do these two as well. So let's just tune and have a listen. Now, we'll get to a busy one. I'll just show you the filter. So you've got a button here called DFN, and then you get your noise reduction, noise blanker that can be adjusted. Or hit your DFL here, and you get your filters 1, 2 and 3, which can be adjusted with the multifunction knob. I'll just show you that on the 7300. So you can push the twin PBT button here, and you can go right and left. You can also tap the filters here, 2 and 3. You can hold your finger on it, and then it opens up a whole new menu. And as you know, it just works great. And I'll say it works very well on the XIEGO as well. I'm very pleased with that. It sounds really good. And you've got your default button here. So let's just keep tuning. We're on 80 meters, and it's about 8 in the morning, or 7:30 it says here.
Stations either side and on the frequency, and the band's not opening very well at all. You're fine, Gary. Can't hear Paul. Just beginning to hear him on Hack Green, but not on any of the SDRs. But just
that's the noise reduction there. It does work.
Anyway, I'll wait till everyone gets a bit louder and the switch is on. I got to be away a bit early this morning. I've got to apparently go and get some pano.
So we'll listen to that on the 7300.
Littles, because we've run out for Christmas. So and every time Rose has been, they've been sold out. So I just switched the power amplifier off. But I think it was all the antennas were frozen yesterday, and it didn't seem to be on the nose to check. your family, your familia. 73, muchas gracias.
Now to change band, mode, you just tap the screen on the 7300. XIEGO, you've got AM, FM, CW and SSB at the top here. And you go like so, AM, NFM, CW, CWR, then you've got LSB, LSB Digi, USB and USB Digi, and both radios do Digi. So what you just select USB data, and you got the LSB-D and USB-D here. And I've tested both these radios on Digi modes, and the XIEGO works excellent on FT8 and very easy to set up. Just a USB cable at the top here. Now, just about connectors on the side of the XIEGO, you've got microphone, ACC. Now, be careful not to put the wrong jack in the ACC because it will break the pins on the board. So, I think it's on the key one actually. I saw a video. If you plug the speaker into the key, it can rip off the solder joints. So just be very careful. USB-C, 2 of them here. Now the one I use for FT8 is the top one, the DEV, and SD card. Now both radios, as you know, have SD cards as well, and they both actually use SD cards for loading the firmware, and it works well. And the firmware, once you know the process, on the XIEGO you load an image onto an SD card and then put it in the radio. When it's off, turn it on, and it loads the new firmware. Then you just have to sort of tell it, when you've done that, you just hit system settings and you just tell it to upgrade. But everything it needs is in the radio. With the 7300, it's one of the easiest firmware ones to do. You literally just go menu, go to the SD card, you hit set SD card, and then one of them is there for firmware, look, and then you run the process, and it works very well, very quick. Both radios on the display are showing the time, what items have been selected, things like filter, tune, TX, memory mode. You've got your SWR. You can select different meters on the 7300. On the XIEGO, it looks like you only see one. When you TX, you do see your AGC and you see the PO, which I'm guessing is power. I know I should know. But you get this nice scope here, this audio scope, which can be adjusted in radio settings. Let's have a look now. I'll just show you that. Oh, display settings, that's the one. Audio scope is here, AF. That's your audio scope here to adjust that. Now on the 7300, you've got quite a nifty audio scope. You go menu, audio, and there's your audio scope, and that can of course be adjusted here. And you can display the, I think, if you hold down this one, let's try again, you can display the waterfall and the audio at the same time. You press the M scope here, then you've got both showing, and you can't, as far as I can see, you cannot do that in the same way on the XIEGO, but the XIEGO does permanently display it. It's just a lot smaller. And if you go into memory mode, at the top here you've got Vfo Memory. Now we have to come out of the menu. That's another thing, you have to come out of menus to select things, which surely they could do that in a firmware. There you go. That's your memories. You go up and down with the band buttons. Instead of changing bands, you change memory channels when you've got more than one stored. The XIEGO has a sort of message button here, MSG, and you can store text messages and voice messages. Now, of course, the 7300 does that. Go menu, and you've got a record section here. Haven't really used it much, but I know it's very good. I know you can record CW and play it back as well. So it's quite extensive. And in the menu again, you've got the voice record here as well. Noting that when you, with the 7300, you've got speech.
47.135 megahertz LSB data.
So the XIEGO doesn't do that. There is a whole section here for CW, but I'm not a CW operator. But there is a whole section here when you push the key button. 2 menu lots there. It's worth noting that. There's a big menu. When you hit General and go Radio Settings, you've got a very big menu here. You've got your AGC, mic gain, your line in, line out. You've got on the side, on this side, you've got what they call the IQ out and the DC, and that helps you basically connect to an SDR for your PC. You haven't got that on the 7300. On the XIEGO, you've got a PTT button, which is quite handy that it's near the BNC. You could actually hold this thing like a handheld radio. You can actually do that. Now I think you can set a button on the 7300 to PTT because you can program buttons, can't you? And I think you can set one on the 7300. So that's it really. I think we'll have another quick tune through and then we'll end the video. Just on the XIEGO, you got to remember as well that you haven't got scroll mode like you have on the 7300 where you can put a line. You can't tap the screen, and it's not touch screen. The 7300 is obviously touch screen. We're in the wrong mode there.
We've had our annual visit from the street cleaner. Anyway,
So you scroll away, and then the green section, the waves, follows you. Okay, I think that's about it for now. Just thought I'd just give you an overview of how the ICOM is obviously a far superior radio and twice the price, and a much larger radio. But if you want a handheld portable that sort of, will do the job of a HF 6-meter radio, and your budget is, between £500 and £600 for a new one, and don't forget second hand, these will sell eventually for about 400. I don't think it's too bad. But anyway, you decide. I love the ICOM 7300. I think it's brilliant, and I wouldn't part with it. I'm sure I've missed some things on all this. The XIEGO has a built-in microphone built into the radio, and so you literally can pick up the XIEGO, put an antenna on the BNC connector, and away you go. You can go out, you can garden and try and have a contact. You can't do that with the 7300, and even the 705. You need additions unless you've got that perfectly cut antenna. So yeah, there goes the battery. So I'm not sure how low it was when we started. But thanks for watching, and 7.3, and catch you on air soon. Please like and subscribe my channel. All the best.